Well, whenever we're touring, I spend all the time out here except when I go in to do a show because I've got everything I need here. I change clothes, take a shower, whatever.
At the age of 93, country music legend Willie Nelson does not choose luxurious mansions in Beverly Hills. Instead, he remains deeply connected to a living space filled with the breath of nature. This is the final sanctuary of peace for a man who has journeyed through nearly a century of storms, glory, and profound fractures. Behind the admirable serenity of this estate lies a long journey paid for, with tears, turbulent divorces, and near-fatal financial scandals. Right now, join us as we explore the real life behind the gates of Spicewood, Texas. The deep connection between Willie Nelson's turbulent life and his real estate ventures began with a rustic log cabin situated on a 150-acre plot of land in Ridgetop, Tennessee. This house was hand-built by the singer himself, who gathered local limestone and natural mortar. It featured a structure with 2 bedrooms and a loft typical of the North American countryside. The entire interior of this early living space carried a wild, free spirit with a large wood-burning fireplace positioned right at the center of the living room. The surrounding partitions were lined with solid, raw wooden planks free of chemical surface treatments, creating a completely isolated space for the songwriter to focus on composing, stepping away from the suffocating pressures of the chaotic entertainment industry in downtown Nashville. All of this unique historic architectural work was permanently erased on Christmas Eve in 1969, when a fierce fire suddenly erupted from the central area, quickly devouring the raw wooden structure and turning his family home into a giant glowing red torch in the freezing winter sky. At the time the fire began to rage violently, Willie Nelson was not at home as he was traveling to attend a music party nearby with friends. Immediately after receiving the phone call with the terrible news about the fire, he sped back like crazy and witnessed his heritage home, surrounded by pillars of thick black smoke rising dozens of meters into the sky. Amidst the panic of everyone present at the scene, the musician made an incredibly reckless move by rushing straight into the blazing fire, which was at risk of collapsing at any moment. His goal was to rescue 2 priceless assets of his life: the guitar case containing the Martin N20 acoustic guitar named Trigger, and a large burlap sack containing special herbs that he deeply cherished. When speaking frankly to People magazine about his decision to rush into the fire, Willie Nelson stated, "When I got there, the house was burning down, but I had a pound of Colombian grass in there. I wasn't rushing in to be brave. I just wanted to keep the firemen from finding that herb and handing me over to the police." The shocking fire on Christmas Eve in 1969 did not just burn down a material asset of great value to Willie Nelson's family. It was also viewed as a fateful turning point, ending his final desperate efforts to adapt to the restrictive lifestyle and overly commercialized musical style of the Nashville market. Standing frozen before the ruined ashes of his first heritage home, the musician realized this was a clear omen of destiny, urging him to bravely shake off the memories of past failures to seek an absolute path of artistic freedom for himself. He decided to quickly gather the few fragments remaining after the fire, officially choosing to leave the old land of Ridgetop to undertake a historic westward migration, paving the way for the powerful rise of the rebellious outlaw country genre later on. His journey to find liberation in spirit and music quickly led to a bolder investment decision, as he poured all the money accumulated from new contracts into a giant entertainment complex, which would later become a symbol of power and his next artistic sanctuary, the Pedernales Club deal. Entering 1979 as outlaw country brought Willie Nelson both fame and abundant financial resources. He decided to execute a daring entertainment real estate transaction. The male singer spent $250,000 to buy the Briarcliff Yacht and Golf Club, a bankrupt 9-hole golf club located right next to Lake Travis, about 30 miles west of Austin, Texas. At this sprawling complex, which was renamed the Pedernales Country Club, Willie Nelson did not just want to own a pure piece of real estate, he wanted to create a completely self-contained living and working space for his large outlaw family. He built a massive wooden cabin with a floor area of up to 54,000 square feet to serve as a residence for his relatives arrangers and the band's entire backstage crew, transforming the place into a miniature artistic community amidst the wilderness of the Texas hills. The architectural highlight in the heart of this entire heritage site was the renovation of the old restaurant and golf club house into an ultra-modern 48-track private recording studio named Pedernales Recording Studio. Under the strict technical supervision of renowned music producer Chips Moman, the studio was equipped with the most cutting-edge gear of that era, including an SSLG Plus mixing console paired with a vintage Neve 80 series board. Inside this heritage space, all walls were lined with premium acoustic wood panels and the floors were covered with thick carpeting to create the perfect acoustic environment for history-making albums like Always on My Mind and Pancho and Lefty. The old musician was always proud of the studio's rustic, sophisticated nature, where he could walk straight from the golf course into the recording room without changing his outfit. The existence of the Pedernales Country Club did not stop at being a business asset. It transformed into a true artistic sanctuary, witnessing the excessive freedom and unrestrained lifestyle of Willie Nelson and his lifelong friends. The studio operated continuously, day and night, becoming the epicenter of overnight recording sessions, where hard liquor herbs and fiery artistic debates took place under the ancient oak trees surrounding the chilly Lake Travis. This isolation and outlaw lifestyle inadvertently turned the club into a special target of government regulatory agencies, leading to a financial tragedy when the entire complex was seized and sealed by the Internal Revenue Service in 1991. To save this heritage studio from the risk of being taken over by private investors at public auctions, his close friend football coach Darryl K. Royale had to step up to mobilize an emergency loan worth $117,000 to redeem the property from the government. A series of legal and financial crises surrounding the Pedernales complex pushed Willie Nelson into an extremely perilous situation, forcing him to accept incredibly harsh negotiation terms to protect his legacy. All legal ownership rights to the golf club and recording studio were frozen, turning a man who once stood at the peak of glory into someone at risk of losing everything on the very land he worked so hard to build. This loss caused a major economic shock and directly exposed the serious property management mistakes of the financial advisors he had mistakenly trusted for decades. The IRS Asset Seizure Campaign. On November 9, 1990, the entire real estate system and financial empire that Willie Nelson had accumulated over decades officially collapsed when the Internal Revenue Service raided his heritage homes simultaneously. This powerful agency issued the largest asset seizure warrant in history against an individual in the entertainment industry due to a massive tax debt reaching $32 million. Federal agents proceeded to seal all structures at the Spicewood Mansion and the Pedernales Club, inventorying every single item from prestigious Grammy trophies to the smallest personal belongings in preparation for public foreclosure auctions. The root cause of this financial crisis was that the accounting firm Price Waterhouse had funneled the singer's money into illegal tax shelters since the 1980s, without his knowledge or consent. Facing his frozen estate, Willie Nelson remained astonishingly calm, firmly refusing to declare bankruptcy to escape legal responsibility. During the chaos of the seizure, a tense moment occurred at the main house when his eldest son, Billy Nelson, noticed security personnel entering for the inventory. Recognizing the value of their treasures, he quickly slipped out the back door with a battered acoustic guitar trigger and several original master tapes, sending them to Hawaii to prevent government confiscation. In an exclusive interview with the New York Times right after being evicted from his living space, Willie Nelson issued a steely statement affirming his powerful will to survive. "They can take my houses and my cars, but they can never confiscate the memories or the music in my head. I will sing to pay off the debt until the very last penny." To fulfill this promise in February 1991, he made an unprecedented move by negotiating directly with officials to turn his music into a debt repayment tool. This unique plan was realized with the nationwide release of the album The IRS Tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories. The first artistic product in history sold via a direct telephone ordering system, in coordination with the tax agency. Under the strict terms, half of each $19.95 record sale went directly to the government to deduct the debt, while the rest covered production costs and compensation funds. Willie Nelson himself did not receive a single penny of profit from this project, but his resilience and highly responsible cooperative attitude during the 3-year tax repayment campaign created a deep wave of sympathy in the hearts of the public and the American artist community at the time. At the public auctions organized by the government to liquidate his assets, an incredibly moving story occurred when loyal fans and close friends formed alliances pooling their personal funds to buy back Willie's landhouses and memorabilia, then quietly returning the usage rights to him in the form of long-term loans. Thanks to this unconditional support, along with the money accumulated from relentless touring on music stages across the country, Willie Nelson achieved a unique miracle in music financial history. By 1993, after federal auditors re-examined the entire fraudulent file of the accounting firm and reduced the actual total debt to $9 million, he officially settled all of his tax obligations. As soon as the financial storm passed, the old musician did not choose a princely, luxurious life. Instead, he dedicated all his energy to a special piece of land, a place where a unique Western town rose from a ruined film set and where he carried out a noble humanitarian mission, fighting for the lives of dozens of poor animals right at the slaughterhouse door. The Luck Ranch Sanctuary. Tucked away and isolated on a vast plot of land spanning up to 700 acres in Spicewood, Texas, the property named Luck Ranch is currently the most humanitarian, unique, and extraordinary piece of real estate in Willie Nelson's entire heritage system. The center of this sprawling ranch is a replica Western town whose construction began in 1986 to serve as the main backdrop for the feature film Red-Headed Stranger, in which he starred. Instead of agreeing to demolish the entire set after filming wrapped, according to the standard strict procedures of Hollywood studios, Willie Nelson made a very bold decision to spend money to buy full ownership of the land and these structures. He wanted to transform them into a personal living space steeped in the 19th century cowboy style, a place to help him regain his balance after years of economic turmoil. This one-of-a-kind replica town includes a full array of vintage architectural structures recreated with meticulous detail, such as an old saloon, a small chapel with a wooden bell tower, an old-time sheriff's jail, and a general store. All of them possess weathered, cracked, rustic pine porches that have faded over time under the scorching Texas sun. The core value and greatest pride of Luck Ranch do not lie in the commercial value of those unique replica structures. Rather, they lie in the lush, green pasture stretching endlessly behind the town. This place is currently the safe home and peaceful sanctuary for more than 70 rescue horses that Willie Nelson himself saved from cruel commercial livestock slaughterhouses across the United States. In the Western livestock and horse racing industry, horses that are past their prime, severely injured, or no longer capable of bringing economic profit to their owners, often face a grim fate being liquidated to slaughterhouses. Aware of this quiet, brutal tragedy, the old musician did not hesitate to spend massive amounts of money from his own pocket to participate in bidding ransoming the lives of these poor creatures right on the brink of death and bringing them to be raised on his ranch. At Luck Ranch, horses that were once abused, abandoned, and emaciated are free to roam on the green pastures, receiving special medical care from top veterinarians and being reunited with the best feed. They live a life of true freedom until their final days without ever having to perform any heavy pulling work again. Operating and maintaining a rescue ranch of such a massive scale and high cost drains hundreds of thousands of dollars from Willie Nelson each year, but he has never viewed it as a financial burden to agonize or think twice about. From this peaceful sanctuary, the footsteps of the old musician have never stopped as he continues to write the final chapters for a living legend. His current life at an age nearing a century is an astonishing picture of the resilience of a true martial artist, a steadfast love beside his wife who walked with him through storms, and a bold business empire. All of these elements are blending together to create an immortal legacy, an absolute spirit of serenity that challenges the flow of time. The legacy at age 93. Reaching the age of 93, Willie Nelson's daily life at the Spicewood Mansion unfolds in a very quiet, simple manner, but it follows a strict regime of physical discipline that few people could imagine for a man so close to his centenary. The strongest anchor in his current life is his fourth wife, Annie D'Angelo, who married him in September of 1991 and has quietly stood behind him to manage everything from financial crises to establishing a scientific lifestyle to preserve her husband's health. Willie Nelson himself is a true martial artist holding a 5th-degree black belt in Taekwondo, a prestigious rank achieved after decades of persistent training to maintain flexibility and maximum mental focus. Every morning at Luck Ranch, he still maintains the habit of practicing gentle supplementary exercises, walking in the fresh air of the Texas Hill Country, and strictly adhering to a diet that prioritizes natural organic foods. Alongside his healthy habits, an iconic and somewhat controversial aspect of Willie Nelson's lifestyle is his open use of cannabis as a medical and mental therapy for many decades. Disregarding numerous legal troubles and a series of serious arrests for possession of controlled substances by authorities, most famously the scandal at the Sierra Blanca checkpoint in 2010, the male singer has never intended to hide or abandon this habit. Instead, he boldly turned his personal passion into a legitimate multi-million-dollar business empire under the brand name Willie's Reserve, which specializes in providing high-quality herbal products to the market. Sharing his thoughts frankly in Rolling Stone magazine about this rebellious, astonishingly effective survival philosophy, Willie Nelson asserted cannabis saved my life. It kept me away from more toxic stimulants and kept my mind peaceful in this crazy world. Currently, the legend with his characteristic white braided hair no longer goes on long tours due to inevitable health limitations, but he has never officially announced his retirement or allowed his brain to stop creating. He only focuses on select small-scale performances in his home state of Texas while spending most of his remaining time on charity, especially maintaining the annual Farm Aid music event to raise funds for poor American farmers. His life philosophy at age 93 is summed up in a very simple, profoundly powerful way. If you don't want to die, keep moving and never let your brain stop. The serene presence of Willie Nelson at Luck Ranch today is not merely the image of a music star enjoying his old age with family. He has truly become an everlasting icon in the hearts of the public. The Spicewood space is now a place that fully preserves memories, fractures that have healed, and stands as a living testament to an unyielding outlaw spirit, a man who has passed through every horrific storm of life with tolerance, love for all creatures, and absolute serenity. With each passing day at the ranch, amidst the sound of horses neighing in the pasture under the evening sun and the rustic guitar strumming from the legendary trigger, the old musician continues to write the final pages of his life's diary with deep peace and contentment. If you love this inspiring story of resilience and humanity from country music legend Willie Nelson, please hit the like button, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future journeys exploring the lives of the next legends.